From the period of 1950 to 1959, there were 6,680 venomous snake bites in the US alone, which only 7 of them were exotic species. Now these are full-blown envenomations. Think about that for a minute.
Fangs in your face. Subscribe now.
So back then in the 50s, there wasn't too many people keeping exotic species. Only a few facilities. It wasn't that popular. Now, it's very popular. We have a lot of amateurs keeping venomous snakes as a hobby. There's more facilities. There's just more exotic venomous snakes in captivity, right? So the numbers of bites now are much higher. We're not even gonna get into them stats, okay? You know, I've got a track record over 40 plus years, never been envenomated. Never been bitten. So I'm gonna give you all my 3 rules that I live by while working with venomous snakes. 3 tips, 3 rules, however you want to put it. But to handle snakes safely and to literally do this for a living, these are words to live by. And don't run off, because at the end of this video, we got some awesome fangs in your face feeding shots coming up. I need to do a little bit of maintenance here in the Serpent Center. I'm gonna give you all some tips on large pit vipers, but we're going to start out with our Mangshan Vipers. I need to check this egg box I got in here and kind of tidy up their exhibit, and then we're going to move on to the Black-headed Bushmasters, 2 of the rarest venomous snakes in the world. We're going to jump right into it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and catch these Mangshan Vipers out of here. We got 2 fairly large ones in here. This is actually a breeding pair. First tip, I preach this in all my classes and everything, is that, you know, you should never grow complacent, even with an animal that you've had in captivity for many years, because things can change in a New York minute. A snake can grow incredibly fast, and its whole demeanor can change incredibly fast. One little thing can set that animal into a different mode. So you never get too comfortable with an animal. Always treat that animal with the utmost respect, and always treat that animal as, you know what, a loaded shotgun. I just really talk about this because some people get a little too comfortable with an animal. They think they know this animal. We've had them for years. It's kind of chill. Never struck at me. It's got a very calm demeanor, and you get complacent thinking that you can get away with too much with them. You know, and thinking that this animal's docile. You always got to keep in mind that this animal is dangerous. It has the capability of taking life. So that's rule number 1. Never get comfortable with this animal, with any animal for that fact. Okay, let me extract that male first. Good position here. Okay, we're gonna, that female just put a bead on me. And what I like to do is I like to try to get a good portion of that body outside of the cage first, at least the tail, where I can go ahead and kind of get my hand on it a little bit. There we go. And that's the male. And that's a big son of a bitch. He's a good sized animal. And you know, this animal you would tend to get like a little complacent with, because he's very docile. He ain't got a mean bone in his body. He just wants to cruise around. Let's get him. And see, Mangs do that because they have a prehensile tail. They are very arboreal, and they can climb up the hook on you. So let's get him in the can. Now let's go in for the female. She's a little bit bigger. I'm gonna pull this female out, but this brings me to rule number 2, okay, is actually knowing the species, knowing its capabilities is very important. just like with the Mangshan Vipers, you know, this is a large terrestrial and arboreal pit viper. It has the capability of hanging on. These things hang on to stuff like Velcro. I mean, they're like giant eyelash vipers. They got a prehensile tail. They can climb. They're strong. And tailing them and moving them, sometimes they wrap around your hand, and it's like, how am I going to get this sucker off me, right? It's knowing the species, knowing what it's capable of doing. Different species have different capabilities, so it's knowing that animal's capabilities is part of your safety protocol. And she's all coiled up in there very nicely, but she's a little grumpier than him. All right, big girl. And I'm trying to be really gentle with this girl. We think she's full of eggs right now. All right, big mama, come on. She's a beast. Get that tail out of there. All right, and she just shed her skin, and it's the first time I have seen her out of that egg box in a while, so I want to prep that egg box, get it a little bit moisture in there. All right, and there's that big girl. Oh, no you don't. She's a beast. They're definitely sexually dimorphic. The females are colored differently than the males. You can see they're a little more drab. And there she goes, going up the hook. This is where I'm talking about knowing a snake's capabilities. Just a quick tip also. When you've got a snake on the ground, I see a lot of guys do this, and this is the wrong thing to do, is tailing a big snake like this. I'll watch guys go down and grab that tail and lift it up and then put the hook under them. That's a no-no. Always make sure you got a hook up underneath that snake and you got his head up off the ground. This is your break right here, okay? That's your safety break. Now it's safe to go ahead and grab that animal because he can't swing around on you. So, that's the female. Big, beautiful girl. Okay, well, I freshened up this exhibit, added some moisture to my egg box. There was no eggs, not yet, but they're coming. We're gonna go ahead and put these animals back. So, for the first two tips, remember, never grow complacent. Don't get too comfortable with an animal. And number two is knowing your species, knowing its capabilities. All right. Yeah, these things are highly arboreal. These things can climb like it's nobody's business. And I always kind of like to drape them over the can before I get my hand in there. All right, there we go. There's the male. And this male is really docile. He's a good boy. He really is. He's very chill, but I'm not gonna let that change the way I handle this animal. I'm gonna handle it with respect, knowing its capabilities, and knowing that it can hurt me. He's in there. He's good. He's over on this side of the glass where I'm safe. So let's go ahead and pop that female in there real quick. She just shed her skin. So we're hoping that we get lucky. First season having these, I really haven't even cycled them properly or done too much with them. I'm still kind of learning them. But, oh, you hear that? Did you hear that right here, hon? Mm-hmm. She just, she's hissing. She's a little more grumpy. This one's a little more aggressive. I've got a male, another big male upstairs in the lab. That he's a mean son of a bitch. I mean, he strikes at you repeatedly. There we go. He gapes like a damn cottonmouth. He's an ornery sucker. But this male, he's a sweetheart. This female can have her moments, but we treat them all the same. Look at the girth on her. That's it, girl. Go right in that egg box. That's where she's headed. We'll see. Maybe we'll get lucky this season. If not, we'll definitely do them by next season because they're going to get a hard a hard cycle this coming winter. This was a snake that literally can take temperature. They can take damn near freezing temperatures, and they can take it quite warm and humid also, but they do require a good humidity and a cooler temperature, and they thrive. From what I understand, they go through a pretty big seasonal change, so that's what we're gonna do to them. Lock them down. Okay, so we're over here at the Black-headed exhibit. This needs to be tidied up a little bit. Tip number 3, words to live by. When you're working with these types of animals, especially snakes, it's about being calm. Calm and deliberate. And everything that you're doing has a meaning. And it's pre-thought, but you gotta keep in mind that situations change and change rather quickly. So remaining calm and not being that guy that's jumping around with a snake hook, bouncing around, poking at a snake. Snakes feed off of that behavior. They can feel that. To them, in my mind, I think that, well, you know, there's this big thing jumping around me trying to figure out how to eat me. If you're calm, they tend to stay calm. I had a student here several weeks back, and we were doing an exercise just with a fairly large southern copperhead, and this snake is a sweetheart, and he was nervous and he kept jumping around, and just from him jumping around and the noise on the floor and poking at the snake, this snake struck at him 20 times. It was crazy. When I could just walk over and I demonstrated for him again and again, gentle, nice and gentle, the snake was just like, I'm cool. He'd interact with it, it got really defensive. I'd interact with it, it was calm as can be. Tip number 3, staying calm, deliberate motion, and being completely relaxed in what you're doing. But at the same time, knowing exactly what your next move's gonna be. We're gonna pull these blackheads out, and I've got the male right here. The female was actually in her nest box. I got her blocked off because I fed the male earlier. Get everything in position. And he can be a pistol, but like I said, calm, deliberate, but maintaining your composure is a big deal while you're working with venomous snakes. And you'll notice, especially with blackheads, the Bushmasters period, I keep something in front of me. Because he's already got a bead on me. He's looking at me like, you got another rat, or you wanna mess with me? Here he comes. He's periscoping up there. And he's getting to be a big boy. Proven breeder, this is a proven pair. We got 11 really good eggs last year, all 11 hatched. And that female's getting ready to do it again. But I'm gonna go ahead and get, look at him sitting there, D. He's peeking over his like, what you gonna do, Will? Get some tail out of there. I'm gonna try to lift his head up off the ground because he is looking at me like, what are you trying to pull on me here? All right, there we go. And that is a big blackhead. He's every bit of, he's 6.5, maybe 7 foot. Part of this lesson is literally not handling a snake longer than need be. Okay, so we're going in for the female. I just gently removed that box off the top of her. She's coiled up there, just giving me the stank eye. But this is part of lesson number 3 here is, you know, not taking too many liberties with a snake and literally not handling it longer than necessary. The less interaction you have with them, that drops your chance of being bitten. I won't handle them too long. Whatever needs to be done gets done. I try not to interact with them too much, and honestly, 90% of the time with her, if she's in a hide, I'll cover that hide up, cover her, the entrance, and go ahead and work around her. But she's got a little bit of feces inside that hide, so she's got to come out. And this is where you stay calm and deliberate. All right, big girl. She's gorgeous. She is such a beautiful blackhead. All right, big mama. I'm gonna go. I don't like that position, so I'm gonna redo it. I'm actually gonna put her on the floor and get her the right way, because she does that. And one thing about Bushmasters is they don't run. They hold their ground. They're like, oh yeah, come get some. Like that right there. I'll put that in front of me, lift her up, and get her right up in there. There we go. Now, she's getting big too. That is a big, pretty girl. Jesus, Melanosophila. All right, let's get her in the can. Okay, I've spiffed up this exhibit, removed the feces, freshened it up, you know, need to add a little bit of moisture to it. So we're ready to roll. We're gonna put these two back. You see, she can be a pistol. This girl will keep an eyeball on you and dare you to make a mistake. This is where you always stay calm and deliberate. All right, big girl. In there rattling her tail. Look at her looking at me. She's like, come on. All right, there we go. She's something. She is really, really pretty. But part of this lesson is you don't handle these animals longer than need be. You do what needs to be done, and you can enjoy them by looking through the glass. She just spun around. She looked at me like, okay, what's next? Now let's put the big boy in there. I've got to break that behavior on her because she will try to reach out and pop me. I'll keep this can in front of me, like a little shield right there. You'll notice I'll keep a can in front of me while I'm dealing with these blackheads. I've had them charge me. I've had them do some really unpredictable stuff. So you really got to be ahead of the curve when it comes to dealing with these rascals. All right, buddy. There we go. And he's quite a bit bigger than her, but that is a mated pair. We'll put him in over here a little bit on this side so she doesn't decide to maybe pop him. All right. Hey, what y'all been waiting for? The fangs in your face is coming up right now. All right, we're gonna start the day out with feeding this big Lachesis muta. This is the South American Bushmaster, and this animal is completely in blue right now. But this is one of the few snakes that you can feed in blue because they are really masters at the heat sensory pick game. Once he picks up that heat signature, he's gonna light that thing up. There he goes. He's looking for the hottest spot. There you go, buddy. Note how he kind of repositioned himself, but getting ready to strike, and he went ahead and backed off and repositioned. That's because he's looking for the hottest spot on that prey item. And if you notice, this guy is completely blued over, but he'll still eat. One of the few animals that does eat in blue. We're going to jump over here to the Lachesis melanocephala, the black-headed Bushmaster. And we've got this little female right out here, ready to rock and roll. Oh yeah, that's a girl. These guys are so tuned in when it comes to food. I mean, they do not miss a beat. Anything above their air temperature in there, they're coming for it. Look at the blood on that thing already. And that is one of our breeder females. She is such a gorgeous specimen. The black-headed Bushmaster. Alright, since we are doing some of the largest venomous snakes in the world today, what are you doing, Bubba? You gonna come bite the camera? Oh yeah, huh? You want the camera? Supposed to bite that rat. We got our 11-foot King Cobra out here biting the camera instead of biting the rat. And with Diesel, it's always got to be a game. It's got to be a fight. So, there you go, buddy. He's bitten it 3 or 4 times, and he is envenomating. There's venom on that rat. We always make it a game for him. Give him a little bit of enrichment. All right, Bubba. Come on down here and get it. And he'll come to the floor and grab it. And he will eat that rat. He likes his rats. And we give Diesel a snake every once in a while just for some enrichment, and it's good for him. He gets a snake about once a month, but his stable is the rats. It's just easier, and we've always got them available. You want to bite the camera again, buddy? He goes, I might, huh? That camera didn't taste too good, huh, Bubba? Alright, we're going to try to finagle our way in here and feed this monster fer-de-lance. This is the Bothropleochorus. This is just an extraordinarily large one. Let her pick up a heat signature. What do you think, big girl? You hungry today? Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, there you go, big mama. That snake has got a set of fangs like no other. It's got daggers. I mean, has one hell of a delivery system. Let's just lay that right there for her. She will come over and eat it. That is a big old fer-de-lance right there. That snake is old as dirt. She's really old, but she's still kicking. She's still doing really, really good. I'm trying to navigate this root system I got in her exhibit here. But she's a good girl. She's a great exhibit animal. That is the fer-de-lance. This is the Bothropleochorus. Hey, we also got a few new shirts out. Check out the Year of the Snake, the Mangshan Viper. Serpentcenter.store. We got some new designs out. They're pretty cool, so check them out if you're interested. Hey, I want to say a big thank you to all of our sponsors, people that sponsor animal care, people that sponsor exhibits. We couldn't do it without you, so thank you very much. And if anybody wants to help the Serpent Center out and sponsor an exhibit or sponsor an animal, email us and we'll set it up. And thank you so much to everybody that's helped us along the way. The Mangshan Vipers need a sponsor, so something to think about. If you follow me on my Instagram or the Facebook, Serpent Center has sites for both. I do daily updates. We're always throwing stuff on Instagram, little shorts and videos and stuff. So check us out on Venom Central and also Venom Central Serpent Center on Instagram. Well, thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. This is Willie checking out from the Serpent Center. Later.